Right. Y'all just got institutionalized is what happened. That's what happens when institutions with a lot of Bitcoin come to play. When they do stuff, it can either be glorious or ridiculous. I don't know how many times you remember me. Can you guys hear and see me, actually? Can you see and hear me? I want to confirm that before I keep talking and be stupid. That's good. All right, perfect. Thank you. Okay, so there's not much delay on the video. That's like 5 seconds or so. So yeah, instead of getting timified in this market, you all just got institutionalized. Essentially, this is it kind of seems like, so as I said, when people said, oh, but this time's different, the bull market's going to go on forever, and I said, no, institutions playing will actually potentially make the bear market start earlier. I'm not saying this early. I don't think that's what we just saw. I still don't think that. Is it possible? Is it more likely now? Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot more likely. Is it probable? No. But it's probably not a what if anymore. It's a top three. However, I don't think it's the most probable. I think what just happened was similar to my thoughts on Bitcoin about, I guess this fractal didn't hold up in it after all, even though it was identical. But similar to my thoughts on, instead of the bull market going longer, institutions would actually try to front run each other. So knowing that this is like the zone, like this time frame here, not the height necessarily, but this time frame, December is when a crash typically happens. I said, no, institutions are going to know that. Once one or two start dumping, then more start dumping, and it's going to cause the bear market to start earlier, is my thought. Because they're going to try to front run and do stuff to each other, and they're slinging around a lot more Bitcoin. And they can do it all at once. Because they're, you know, an institution versus a million people with Bitcoin, it's going to happen more quickly. So I think that what we saw here was that exact same effect, but not in terms of a bear market. I think this was in terms of, I mean, maybe a hand got exposed about somebody taking a long somewhere at 40K, and somebody had a mole in there, and he reported it to another few places. They got together and liquidated that person for vengeance, or that institution. It kind of looks like this is vengeance. This was coordinated for sure. So this was a very coordinated event. This retail consumers can't do this fast because too many people were sleeping. Like, you can't get millions of people to market sell like this in an hour. This is a coordinated thing with multiple big hands. Yeah, so in seriously 1 hour, you know, 25%, it's just, you can't do that without coordination of big hands. Hi, beautiful. Thank you. Yes, I did. You're a freaking mind reader. On my way home from taking mommy to the hospital, I thought, I'm going to grab a granola bar since I haven't eaten before this live call, and I forgot to, and you just brought it to me. You're a freaking mind reader, little 3-year-old turd. Oh, did you want me to open it for you? You should have seen her face. I just opened this, almost started eating it, and then she goes, so, could you go get me one? Or go get yourself one, I'll open it. I thought she was being thoughtful. That was funny. But I think this is just large hands doing something. Yeah. I think that's what it is. There really isn't any other mathematical possibility. I'll open this one for you, okay? I already started eating that one. There you go. Kisses. So yeah. Now, in terms of bear market stuff, it's kind of interesting, though. I was saying, you know, it's the third most common way to correct to hit the bottom side of a previous consolidation zone, and it hit it exactly. So remember when in my live call, if you were on there, somebody said 27K, 27K, 20. I was like, no, there's nothing here. If it came down this slow, it would stop at 30. And I really said 30. Was I guessing 30 would happen? No, I didn't call. I'm not saying I called. I definitely didn't call this. Like, no one. It's just at such an obvious level. And I think it hit 30 on the nose, like almost to the dollar. No, it was a couple $100 different. But on some exchanges, it did hit 30 exactly. So this is one of the top 3 most common ways, but usually it's either this one, the middle, or the bottom one, and this is the least common. But we've seen a couple of them do this now. So, but it is one of the top 3 ways to come down. Is to target this previous consolidation of any asset. Yeah, I think that's what happened. I think institutions, a couple screwed a couple of others because they had their hands exposed. The ones who got screwed had their hands exposed, and they knew. The players who screwed them and coordinators knew what their hands were. I think I don't know, it kind of seems like they were trying to liquidate somebody. It's almost like Wall Street bets, but the other way around, essentially. They knew, so instead of, you know, people taking long or short positions, people were taking long positions and people tried to screw them the other way. This is like reverse Wall Street bets, essentially, but it actually in reverse in all cases. Instead of making price go up with a bunch of coordinated individuals, this was making price go down with coordinated big players. I think that's literally what this is. Yeah, going back down to 30 is absolutely possible, or just above it. Yeah, so once Bitcoin pokes its head above the daily 10 and starts coming back below it, that's when you're going to look for your higher low. Yeah, it's almost definitely going to happen. They always get a retracement. And honestly, it's better. You have another chance to buy low. Like, it's way better. I would love to be able to get into Dash at like $180. That would be amazing. So now you guys see why I strongly advise against leverage in a bull market. Over time, there's simply more money in playing alts, I'm telling you. It's just when things are boring, you can't see it. And you want to click around, I get it. I've been trying to tell you. Don't do it. Over time, there's literally, again, a bull market, there's so much more money in alts, folks. So much more money. All right, let me see what you're saying, guys. Sorry. Yeah, bear market. I mean, I don't think it is. But it's definitely a top 3 now. So here's the weekly 10. Oh yeah, somebody said explain weekly 10. Here. Well, first off, you need to watch my chart video. And I'm pretty sure I have a tutorial on this too. Oh, but it's not open to cryptillions, is it? It's the red line. This red line. How Bitcoin behaves once it gets back up here. It's going to peak its... Let me erase some of this crap, though. These were all my support levels that I was trying to base the Dash Long off of Bitcoin and Ethereum. And good thing I had stops, because I got stopped out quickly. And actually, when I was trying to do a Dash Long, that was one of those 2 in 10 or 1 in 5 instances where I could not get my stops into profit. I had to market sell out, and I did it way before I knew this was going to happen. I did it when it was starting to go down to like 269. It's like, yep, that's too low, got to get out. Because I got in at like 276 or something. Took like a $400 loss. But on a percentage basis, that's not huge. It's like of what I was dealing with. Because prior I had made like $600 in like 30 minutes, right? So, but I know a lot of you lost a lot of money because I know some of you are playing with leverage and you're all looking at, ooh, my liquidation price is so low. That's why one of my top rules of thumb, never look at your liquidation price, ever. Only people who lose their money do that. Now you see what I'm saying? All of those people lost their money, all of them. You get out quickly. Don't care about your position. Never look at the liquidation price, ever. Seriously, like, actually never do it. Like, I don't like superlatives, but I will use one there. Literally never look at your liquidation price. So yeah, so now that I clean this up, the weekly 10, right here. So Bitcoin, you know, it will eventually work its way up, but it's a question of how low does this go first for Bitcoin to meet up for it with it. And I think what we'll see on the weekly is this. I think we're going to see a fake out cross. I think it's going to go like this. And then I'll leave those there, actually. I'll leave those there for a while. There we go. So Bitcoin, I would assume, might do something like, I don't know. Next week might, this one might close here. I think it might just actually charge right back up to it on a weekly basis. Maybe have a sideways week. And I think it'll peek its head above and then chill. Maybe retest. And then get that third candle close. See? See how these rules apply to Bitcoin too? Third candle close. I think it's going to get confident. I think something like that might happen. However, we will be investigating or really keep it for even for all your alts, right? If we don't see confidence around here, you need to start, you know, moving, maybe not everything, but maybe half, potentially half of your stuff into Tether if it doesn't look confident there. Or what you can do is as it gets there, move half Tether. And so you're already prepared even before you can assess how confident. What? Here, midget. So, you know, maybe as it gets its head above, you can move something into Tether, take profits, for, you know, instead of 20 bag profits, maybe 50 bag or something like that. And then judge the confidence of it and decide to move back in. Even if it's you're buying at a higher price, that doesn't matter. You are being safe. If it does really take off like this, you would be, you know, slightly buying back your stuff at a higher price, but that's worth it because what happens if this is the beginning of the bear market? You're holding freaking Tether. So the cost benefit of doing something like that, even before you know how confident it is, that's probably a pretty good play. Will I do that? Maybe. I might do like 20% Tether as price gets here. And this might not be the exact price, right? It might happen later, and it might be down here where the 10 is. But it's whatever, it'll poke its head above the 10. So, and it might do something like this. It might do something like, it might creep up on the 10, get rejected, stay there for a bit, hesitate, and then scream. Kind of like some of those coin prices were, instead of consolidating on top of the gray line, they were consolidating under and then exploded in the past. It might do that too. So as long as it does one of those, that's still confident. If you can consolidate right under, that's still okay. That means you're building pressure and building a base, so that's okay too. But what you don't want to see is it goes above and then just flies right back down. So if you start to see it go above and like really gain momentum down on a weekly basis, so you won't be able to see it on the hourly or daily basis. You can get a day wick down here, that's fine, but it's the weekly closes that matter. That would be, I would say, like the bear market, if that were to happen, would be more likely. It'd be the top most likely. But still, you'd have other things in play, even if that happened. It could just go like this. It could form that duck shape and then go. Like it could form a big duck, right? Just a big version of that. So instead of a bear market, it could just want to consolidate down here at like 40 or down here at like 35 and then scream up. And really doing an 8x in the last bit of the bull run, that's nothing, right? To go from 30K to, you know, $250,000, 8x ish. That's a, you know, that's fairly normal for altcoins, not for Bitcoin, but yeah, so let me draw the 3 different scenarios that I'll be looking out for here. And then, so the bearish scenario is it really charges up, really gets people confident, maybe closes here, then starts accelerating down and comes back to this low. Something like that. That would be your bad scenario. So let me do this one, green. So most bullish. Yeah, I think that's what we're staring at here. I think these are our 3 most likelies, 3 most probables. And then you know, but this most probable, the bearish one, that could end up turning into a duck too. So that's within there. So even the bearish one could end up turning into a bullish one, but I'm not going to go that far to guess so far. But just this shape for the meantime, for the midterm play, I think this is what we're looking at with the moving averages potentially playing around there. So yeah, that's what I got there. All right, let me look at some questions.
Oh, I think you died.
𝑃RO should have already rebounded pretty good. Yeah, 𝑃RO's not at, yeah, it went down to that. Maybe these origin lines are right for 𝑃RO. Shit. It went right to it. These might be the damn origin lines, folks. I might have got them right. I don't want to share my ideas anymore because I can't delete them afterward. And then if we really do have people like playing our crap and like trying to hurt the community by seeing what we're doing and trying to hurt it, which a lot of people were thinking that's what was happening. And honestly, people didn't realize it was probably folks within the community trying to make me look bad, but kind of sounds that that's what was happening. So I don't want to share this stuff. But you can just kind of look at it here and make your own lines. You know, just when you look back on this video, just screenshot it and try to make it the same. And really, once you make the first parallel line, the rest just make parallel to it, and then you'll see where they connect. It's kind of easy. Especially with this dip, you connect that one to this, and this, like these 2 areas with that one, it connects almost perfectly. These tops, 1 top, 2 top, 3 top, connects with the support here. And so you can see as it broke support, look how, actually this is aligning really well. When it broke support here, this origin line, what did it do? Scream down. That's what Bitcoin did in 2018. Once it broke origin line support, it screamed down. I don't know. I think these are going to end up being the origin lines for 𝑃RO. I might have to space these out differently in the future, but yeah, I think everything's going to rebound just fine, at least until Bitcoin gets right above the weekly 10. and then they might not keep their recovery. It could be a dead cat bounce. That's absolutely top 3 most probable. I guess Wyckoff did play out. Yep. I was giving Wyckoff credit. It looked fabricated to me. I just didn't think it was going to come down this low. So, yeah, Wyckoff absolutely played out. So good thing I didn't just bash it 100%. I only said the second half of it I don't think will play out, but it absolutely played out for sure, like almost exactly to a T, perfectly. It did play out. Okay, so yeah, 4chan, yeah, that's what it looks like. I mean, yeah, this is absolutely, it's mathematically impossible that it's not a coordinated event. So that's why I can just see that in the chart. Retail consumers, like, you know, millions of people together, can't make that happen that quickly. Over a course of like several days, yes, but not, capitulation of the masses cannot happen like that. Unless it's a super young asset with only like, you know, 10,000 people in it, yeah, that could happen. But it's too big of an asset for retail people to, just normal consumers to do that. No, I'm not getting into Trias. I really don't. I don't know if I want to. It's making me feel bad, like, you know, that I benefit from having a community who buys things I have. So the stuff you guys are buying, like Excel coin and stuff from now on, I think I'm going to stay out of it. No way. Look at that. Remember when I said I would be interested to buy it here? Look at that. Look at that. Wow. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, that was a hell of a buy. If you can get it anywhere under that yellow line, that was a really good buy. Okay, let's see what Bitcoin did. Remember when I said I think it'll come all the way down to that bottom origin line, like it usually does? Let's see if it did it. Oh, it did. Wicked below it. Told you guys. Like, but I thought maybe it would like bottom out here, but obviously a Bitcoin crash may go a little further. But yeah, it's just, it typically does do this after it pings off the here once. Yeah, wow. A lot of good, great buys out here. Okay, good question, Dreams. I would wait to see if there's going to be a retracement down, you know, like in the low 30s. I would look for a higher low. A higher low will happen. I don't think it'll just V-shape perfectly. I think it'll higher low, you know, something like maybe a couple green days, and then higher low maybe around 36 or something. And then I would deploy Tether at a higher low. Or you could deploy like 33% of your Tether now, and then 2/3 at a higher low, which could be even lower than now. You can mix your bets. You can hedge your bets, or 25%, 75%, because you might want to deploy something soon, because what if it does do a V shape? Then you have a lot, yeah, you have too much sitting waiting for this. That's never going to happen. So, but what if you deploy too much here and it does double bottom? Then you spent too much here when you could have spent it here, but you don't know. So, or maybe half and half, who knows? I deployed my Tether on Dash. I saw it at like 212 or something. And I bought more. Yeah. Yeah, until the market's confident, I'm just going to accumulate Dash, and then once it gets up, you know, if it, and assuming it gets up to that 1200 point, then I'll start taking profits and move into other things. But I think I'm going to rely on Dash for a little bit, but we'll see. But not with half of my portfolio or anything, but it's going to be like 10% maybe. Assuming, I mean, yeah, if the market recovers, let's say assuming the market recovers via, yeah, $80 is about the mid territory of my guess. Yes. Yep. It's actually still more than on track to get there. So these were my projections on what Viacoin needs to do to get even to $100. And it didn't even drop down to it. It's still that far above it. I mean, Viacoin could go sideways until October and still hit $80. You know, it can only get up to like $5, you know, in October and then scream up easily. Because it's a smaller alt. It's going to move fast. Oh, here, somebody made a smartass comment on my on Patreon. Guys, if you're gonna walk in thinking you're hot shit about me saying that MWAT was a pump and dump and said, oh, he says Viacoin's not, but this is, yeah, because this is totally normal for Viacoin with price history. Has happened dozens of times, and it never has happened once on that asset, ever. So yeah, I did say that about Viacoin because it is organic, and I prove it to you. I still have my arrows there, and I deleted some of the arrows. Yes, it happened over and over and over and over. Absolutely. Big wicks happen on Viacoin. So even if it was pump and dump group, they just made it look like what's happened a million times before. So that's not much of a pump and dump. They, you know, like why would they pump and dump to make something, to reproduce something that's common? Like, that's kind of silly. But yeah, I'm not saying it wasn't a pump and dump group. It looks pretty normal. That's what I'm saying. They only achieve normality within Viacoin. Like, what the hell? Oh, it did hit its monthly 10. That's really good, man. Yeah, monthly 10 is a big deal. That means it can go up faster now. Oh, it actually whipped way past it. Yeah, in last bull run, I think it just came shy of hitting its monthly 10. Let me see, what's the exchange that has the most, is it Bitstamp? I think it's Bitstamp. There we go. So look how quickly it rebounded in the flash crash here. It even stayed a green month. Look at this crap. The month stayed green. 82% correction, and the month stayed green. Isn't that crazy? And then it retraced back down to a higher low. Flash crash, retrace, higher low, bam. So it might take months to get your higher low, folks. It might take a couple months. It might be July that it comes dipping back down to, you know, 45 or 50 or 60, you know, coming down from 90 or something. Let's take a fractal of this. And look where it goes, to December. Wow. It goes up to 200K. That is kind of weird. I'm going to put this on the chart. It might form that duck. That might be what happens. That looks eerily similar. Wow. That didn't work. Oh well, you guys got the point. No, I don't think predictions will change. Assuming everything recovers, I would keep my predictions exactly the same. Oh, not just OLT win. OLT whenever Bitcoin gets at closest 2 candles above or 3 candles above the weekly 10. That's when stuff will start flying. What the hell is AXPR doing? Only one green thing. It was funny. Bolt was the only damn green on my screen yesterday. Man, Trias got hit almost the worst out of all the coins I'm following. Wow. That's why coordinated buys, folks, aren't good. It's not organic. Because when you have a coordinated buys on stuff as a group, when y'all start selling, whether you like it or not, your psychology kicks in, which makes you coordinatedly sell. And it's going to be deeper. Like, that's... I'm just not sure why anybody was trying to pump coins in a choppy market. It's really kind of silly. I honestly don't understand. I mean, it's not just silly. It's actually kind of stupid. But I guess if you haven't been through a market before, I guess you wouldn't know better. But yeah, I wouldn't try coordinated buy until things are hot, folks. Because when things are hot, what you do is you only have to coordinatedly buy for a little bit, and then it goes so far above where you did, you don't even have to create floors or anything. It just keeps going because YouTubers are talking about it. Everybody's happy, and greed millows everywhere. That's what you want. You don't want to force things. Like, that was just horrible timing. Like, really, literally the worst time in the bull market to do that. Yeah, I'm sorry if you guys got involved with that stuff, but just remember, if you guys do coordinated buy, if you don't time it right, it will turn into a coordinated sale because your human psychology is very similar. That's just what happens. All right. I don't know how much coin reviews we need to be doing, folks. Everything is bloody as hell, right? And probably, where's my, if I can remember my alphabet. Damn, that's rebounding nicely. Wow. Yeah, everything is literally almost back up to where it was during my live chat last night. Oh, Bitcoin's actually over. No, it's right at it. But I think it did pierce 40 here for a second. Yeah, it went right back above its weekly 21. I mean, structurally, it looks pretty good. Ooh, wow, that is strong. How did play stay so strong? Good thing I have that as one of my bigger bags. Wow, that's actually that's like Cardano might have done about the same thing. Yeah, nope, play stayed even stronger. Did Cardano close the day under this? Nope, didn't close the day, so there's still a little hope here. So that's why I said that in my video. You need to eyeball this line. If Cardano starts closing days down here, with Ethereum already having gotten too hot, Bitcoin not being confident, it's kind of a level to watch on Cardano. Yeah, but because Bitcoin's already rebounded so far up. 25% bounce in 30 minutes. Yeah, it's gonna get choppy and volatile down here. It's gotta form a little bit of something. It's probably gonna play around the origin line for maybe a week or two, potentially, or several days like this, and then form higher. It's not just gonna go straight back up, folks. But on a weekly basis, you might have all green weeks though, until the weekly gets above. Then it's going to chill out most likely. But it could screen past. Who knows? Yeah, there's not much to look at, folks. Like, you're going to have to view things on the weekly scale. So look at about, you know, things getting rejected from 40 on like 30-minute time frame. This isn't going to serve you well. Unless you're trying to catch like a higher low on a short time frame, that might be wise. But in terms of recovery, nothing that's happening right now is going to be, you know, valuable unless it breaks this. Then okay, then maybe. What's our market leader doing? Okay, so I said we might not do look at many coins, but whoever suggested play, that was actually a good one to. Oh, look at that. Weekly 21 perfectly. Wow. Gotta get down, get up. That's actually good for this. So if Ethereum can lead the market, now that it touched its weekly 21 like that, that's going to be good for it. That actually is, I like this. Since Ethereum is kind of holding the market. That's really good for it. So it hit this line on the nose, almost on the nose. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. That's a great reaction off of it. Let's see what those 2-day Stokes I've been talking about did. See, broke right through. Broke too fast to really make a move off of it, obviously, but it broke through the box. I mean, guys, you just can't plan for something that fast. When big hands are doing stupid shit, you just... Actually, that's too low. It's up higher right there. Yep, broke right through it. Damn. However, the blue line might whip back up. We'll see. Yeah, I listen to Willy Woo's on-chain analytics, but his analytics are like agree with my charting. It's kind of interesting. So yeah, like hash rate versus price, wallet, new wallets, wallets with over, you know, 1 Bitcoin, wallets with under 1 Bitcoin, wallets versus price. Yeah, that's I follow Willy Woo. I look at his stuff. But most of the Willy Woo crap you see out there, it's just people taking his old content and making a video of it. So, but his Twitter is really the best, you know, stuff. So he's all about the weekly 200, what percentage away Bitcoin is from it. And a lot of times that affects price pretty heavily. So it was 300% away from it. It got 900%. So really, it doesn't look like that was a market top. We weren't even close to being the same distance away from the 200. So that is some strong evidence that this is not bear market, right? The distance from the weekly 200 EMA is like a third of what it did last cycle. And now there was no 200 EMA down here, but if you could just draw a line like this or something, maybe it got up to there if it existed. 800%. Actually, it might have been a lot lower. It might have been down here. Yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah, I mean this actually is the best opium I've seen. Look, topped 900% away from the moving average, the weekly 200. And Willy Woo's all about the percentage distance from it. So this does not align with the market top in crypto at all. At all. Does it align with a major top? Maybe. Let's see. It's almost the same percentage. 220. Major top, not a macro top. Yeah, it's only about a third of the way distance from here. A little bit more than like 40%. Boo-boo. My messages aren't going through. I can see that. Okay, let me pull up the let's if your messages aren't going through, you can use how about you use Cryptillion chat, and I'll go back and forth between these two. What is this? What is that up there? What the hell's going on? Oh, it's not there it goes. Okay. Yeah, you can type in the Cryptillion chat, and I'll go back and forth, okay? Or I might have it on my yeah. I'm gonna get a second screen for inside when I have to do stuff inside. It's just, even though it's one big screen, it's not working out very well. Liquid, you can make your questions there. I'll go back and forth. Yeah, Trias did exactly what I was thinking it would probably do. I mean, I said I would be interested in becoming a buyer at this line before it ever even got close to that, and it came down and touched it exactly. For the reason I said that, not because, so would I, okay, for example, would I have said that and circled that line before it ever got there if I thought Trias didn't have a chance? No. I wouldn't buy something if I didn't think it had a chance. I would just think that this would be a great buy and that the chance of hitting that line is okay. So therefore, I would like to buy it there. Here. So yeah, it has a chance. Like, it hit the line that I thought, yes, this would be a fantastic buy. So yeah, of course it has a chance. I wouldn't have made that line and said it would be a good buy if it didn't have a chance. And yeah, in its structure, this is totally normal. This is totally normal, especially when you don't have folks cheerleading around it, creating, you know, a false vector of force by force up. Like, you can only sustain that for so long, folks. You have to get the rest of the market to jump on board. If it doesn't, this will fall apart. And it will become a smaller, more normal vector. And then your asset will correct a little bit to reflect this and then start acting more normally, which means bouncing off the 2-hour gray line most likely. So let's go to the 2-hour midterm ribbons. That's where it's consolidating. See, this is more normal now. See, gray line. Where did it consolidate down here? The gray line on the 2-hour. So yes, this is what normality looks like for Trias. So yeah, it has a hope, absolutely. This is absolutely perfectly normal. And it's still rather bullish because it's not playing the 4-hour gray line. The 2-hour gray line is even more bullish. It's a stronger, it's a higher slope up. So, because I didn't want to crash everything. So I've already seen dips fairly similar, not quite that big, that furious, but things rebound quickly. So instead of helping crash everything, with the idea that shit, things might rebound back before I can like spend the time buying it all back. Thought, yeah, if it does this, then you know, I was very confident with my very, very low entries anyway. I didn't chase any green candles. When the market recovers and Bitcoin gets above its weekly 10, the shrimp account will be totally good, and then I might start taking some profits in Shrimpy once that happens. But I just these small plays, I can't swing the market, and I'm comfortable sitting on waiting for Bitcoin to go back up to weekly 10. I'm perfect. It will go up. It'll go right back up to it. Now, will it sustain that? I don't know, but then your alts will be back in the green as long as you had safe entries. I mean, yeah, they'll be back in the green. Don't worry, it'll be fine. You got to get used to wild crypto rides, folks. I already did MTV. MTV structure looks pretty good. Not as good as plays. Yeah, it's just barely under where it consolidated. So for a flash crash, that's not bad. Silo rebounded really nicely. Right back in its consolidation zone. That's pretty good. Yeah, it looks okay. I mean, for such a dip and bounce right back. Actually, everything's looking pretty okay right now. It's really just a question of what happens when Bitcoin gets to its weekly 10. That's going to be the question. Now that's not looking so hot. It did not get back to its consolidation zone. But it did go back to its prior, its prior consolidation zone, which is what Bitcoin just did. So it actually went exactly like Bitcoin, hit the bottom of its prior consolidation zone. So structurally, to ignore the percentage basis, which is really big, but from a structural basis, this is literally what Bitcoin just did. Literally, like the exact same thing. So structurally, it's kind of normal for a flash crash. Now its recovery so far is lackluster, but so is Bitcoin. So if it's going to follow Bitcoin, it might rise with Bitcoin. I don't know. But yeah, Silo's rebound and MTV's rebound was way better than this. They both came, MTV's rebound is equivalent to here. Silo's rebound is equivalent to here. So yeah, this is not as strong. All right, let me go look at this. All right, we're still looking at new alts to invest in the year. If I found a new alt that you guys aren't geeked out about, I would get into it. But right now, I'm mostly just gonna keep with my current ones and then, play with Dash a little bit and then, see how everything goes. But, for VIPs, I'll do portfolio updates if it changes every week. But nothing's really changed besides my Dash move, and I just posted about my portfolio change. So, but I'll probably just do a portfolio stuff every Friday, just even if it doesn't change. I did buy DAC. Everything's on flash sale. All right, so looking into, so that was Rodriguez's question. SG, so if Bitcoin gets back to the weekly 10 above it and you're still at a loss, well, you shouldn't still be at a loss. But think of it this way. I would say yes, because the idea that you move into Tether with a strong likelihood that you can buy lower, that makes sense to me. So the same principle applies, regardless of whether you bought low or bought high. If you were to do that, there's a strong likelihood that if you had moved into Tether, you will be able to buy more back lower. Yeah, I would still say, if the market recovers, try us. My original guess was 750 to 900 via 80. It all looks about the same. Oh, this doesn't mean much at all. This just means that when Bitcoin corrects, alts correct harder. That's normal. That's a well-known fact. If Bitcoin goes down, 20%, alts go down 35%. So that's all that's saying right there. It's just Bitcoin made gains against alts, even as everything dropped, only because Bitcoin dropped less on average than all the other alts. That's all that means. Well, coordinated buys can be effective long-term if it's done correctly. And you're not just looking for the next breakout, that's what was happening. So what was happening was, and I've been reading through the chat rooms now, and I understand why people were falling into that trap, because y'all were frustrated, but where were breakouts? Like, why is it supposed? Because there aren't fucking breakouts. You need to be holding tether and being defensive and taking profits. You don't need to be like going to the moon, right? And so people not understanding that fact, it says post breakouts, on the description of the tier, and so that frustration and misunderstanding from a lot of people, that was what those individuals were feeding off of. The unawareness that, wait, there aren't breakouts, so let's not fabricate them because it's going to screw you. Like, you can't force breakouts when it's like a choppy, brutal, like tough to read market. Let you guys know, this is a very tricky market. Like, what? So don't force breakouts. Breakouts will happen when the market's confident. I've been posting exact buy and sell ranges on ranges during live chats, which is more valuable. But somebody did mention, okay, well, when you do that, could you take snapshots and post it? Because it's too time consuming to go through all live chats. That actually, it was a great suggestion. I will start doing that. So if it's not breakout season, a trading season, range season, then I might start doing that. I might start posting like a PDF of a bunch of coins that we follow and just buy sell points or something to that effect, to make it so those people who don't have more than 1 hour a day to look at crypto, they don't have to go through all the videos. So that was a very fair assessment. Yeah, alts will probably be green. Yeah, because Bitcoin will be green. Yeah, absolutely. I think you'll be in profit when it gets above its 10 EMA. It's just the question of, does it stay there, or should he take profits? Shaw? No, I haven't looked at Shaw yet. So it's coming down to the candle closings here. Yeah, most breakouts of all-time highs have come back down. I mean, even DAPPT, Silo, everything. So this structure looks pretty normal. I bet West and Tone look pretty similar. Damn, West's reaction is strong. Wow. That's kind of impressive. That's just as good as Play's reaction. That's strong. Wow. But I picked that one to be my heavier hand for a reason. I think it's going to be a good play. We'll see. Yeah, Tones went right back down, but not to the candle closings. So Shaw went back down to the candle closings. And Tone is just coming to the top of the range, which is much better. Fucking West stayed up here. That's crazy. Well, I can't believe West is in player that strong. That's really impressive. Playing West that's impressive. On those two coins, people said, hell yeah, I'm buying this up. So that's pretty cool. Let me go back to the YouTube comments and I'll flip back and forth. Oop. What's happening? Oh, I remember. Is this one of those Uniswap coins? It stayed pretty strong, I'm not gonna lie. You know what? But honestly, you know why this might have stayed strong? Because no one can sell it. Because swap sites suck. It's probably just because no one could sell it. You probably couldn't get your orders to go through, so it just happened to stay strong. So maybe the Uniswap sites aren't that bad if there is a flash crash, because no one could sell. But let's say from a charting perspective, I'm not thinking about that. The shortcomings of the exchange. Yeah, that held very, very, yeah, it didn't even go below its daily 21. That's actually pretty impressive. Let's see how Play did compared to that. Yeah, play did go below, but it's at its 21.2. West obviously went below it, and it's still below it actually. So, or was it West BTC? Oh, West versus BTC stayed extremely strong. So Bitcoin's not making gains on West, but it is on most alts. Yeah, Happy looks pretty darn good. That's in really good shape, actually. That might be the best shape out of any of them I've seen. I would assume it will come down here and want to take a poke at this, though. At 35.25, 35.50. I would strongly assume it at least hits that. And then if it doesn't hold there, it'll come down to 30. It'll wick below here. The hour 200 EMA, it'll hit like $33 maybe. Somewhere, maybe actually a little lower, about right here where all these candle bodies are. So right there would be the next support line at $30.30. So you got $35.50 and then $30, almost $30 even, but maybe 30, yeah, 30.50 and 35.50. I would assume it's going to take a poke at one of those. Safely assume. But as of now, it looks like it's holding pretty freaking strong. Yeah, with BPRO's 367, I don't know why people are misconstruing my words. I only said it's not totally bizarro impossible. I said it's moderately reasonable. Never said it was probable. Yeah, but you know, if you're gonna be in front of like thousands of viewers or whatever, your words are gonna be mistaken by people who aren't listening clearly. Can I flash Rebels? No, but you can flash your red dildos or green dildos. GBX. DAC.
Yeah.
There's not much liquidity on this. This looks like a micro cap. Yeah. 1 million. So don't hold too many of these types of coins, moonshots. You don't want a portfolio full of moonshots. However, its structure looks fantastic. Had its weekly cross, already retraced, had a nice push, holding strong on the weekly 10. This structure is actually really good. Like, excellent good. Holding support right there at that previous support. Yeah, this structure actually looks fantastic. This is a beautifully structured chart for pulling out of a bear, you know, a previous bear market. So for these types of coins, though, if you're going to trade on the BTC, remember, don't land yourself in the position if the bull run, you know, assuming the bull run continues, don't put yourself in the position where you have to market sell. You need to be limit selling at goals that you make for yourself. Like, I'll sell some at, let's say, this is for, okay, I will sell some in this green box around the all-time high. I will sell another 30%, you know, 20 or 10% here, 10% here, 10% here, 10%. You need to sell on the way up with limit sales, I'm telling you. This has too low volume. So if you hit sell when it's up here and you market sell, you might be selling it down here, because the order book will be too thin. I'm telling you, need to, like something like this, you need to sell on the way up. Limit sell, just, and you might do that immediately. If you hold this coin, you might literally go on there now and just put like, you know, 50 different orders like spread across like this and just leave it. It'll serve you well, assuming everything stabilizes. So honestly, that's a very strong suggestion I'm just making to you. If you hold a coin, any coin like that, really, on a smaller website like that. You have to sell those on the way up. Please do not forget that. When you hit sell, you'll be selling for literally half the price you think you're selling. End of month? Oh, I don't want to do end of month predictions. It all depends on Bitcoin and Ethereum. Yeah, this isn't the time to be making predictions. This is the time to be eyeing Bitcoin. First getting above its daily 10, seeing a reaction, then getting above the... because Bitcoin just had the baton handed back to it. So it led the market down. It's going to lead... I don't think Ethereum will take the baton from it and lead the charge up. I think eyes are going to be on Bitcoin now. Because no one's going to be buying Ethereum if Bitcoin's not strong right now. So it ain't going to happen. So yeah, this isn't time to make predictions. This is literally Bitcoin analysis time. Bitcoin strength time. For key moving averages. That's literally what you should be and or accumulating. So if you're, a believer in crypto like me, perhaps accumulate a little now, or at a higher low. That might happen here. It might come back down to, I don't know, 34 or so. Accumulate perhaps some now, some at 34 or higher low, and then plan to take profits when Bitcoin gets above its weekly 10, wherever and whenever that happens, and then reassess from there. So accumulating now, you don't have to hold that till the end of the year, right? You can take those profits when Bitcoin gets above its weekly 10 and still make a good amount of money. A very good amount of money doing that. Just an in and out, on a 6 week, it might take 6 weeks, but you'll still make good money if you play that right. And then reassess once you're holding tether when Bitcoin's somewhere over here. That's it. So yeah, no end of month predictions. I'm not doing that. I mean, there's no analysis. That's just keeping its accumulation. It's still within the range. I mean, there's not much you can do with this. Unless it has more price history than that. Oh, it does have more price history. Good thing I checked here. I like this website for your more unknown alts. What the hell? What the hell is this coin? I would be scared to get into this at all. That got hotter than VPRO did, and faster. No, about the same speed. Yeah, I would fully anticipate this goes sideways for quite a while. Quite a while. However, it did just... It held some pretty good support there, I'm not going to lie. I would still expect a lot of sideways. Yeah, it's probably going to accumulate around, here to here. Or this wick to that candle body, somewhere around here. How do I make a box? I would expect accumulation from there to there. Yeah, something like that for a while. And then maybe the higher end from the candle body to that wick, something like this. So if you buy sell ranges on this guy, that's maybe what I would do for a while. Yeah, this got way too hot, way too fast. Like, that's extreme, extreme, extreme. Well, hold on. Okay, where did it get all these gains? So, it correct 15 days. I don't know actually, but I'm not so certain about my analysis on that. Like, this is a flying squirrel. It might remain, it might consolidate here a little bit, but then it might just go back to being a flying squirrel, like stair-stepping aggressive. So it might do something like this again, and then go right back up. I mean, honestly, I bet it repeats something like this and this. I would assume that's what's going to happen. There you go. Yeah, might just keep doing that. 26 cents. That's a tough one to read. It kind of looks, so it's kind of like doing what Trias was doing. It has a very aggressive stair steppy that probably cannot be sustained. So it'll probably only hit this trend line once or twice more, just like Trias, and then it'll form a less aggressive line. So actually this is, yeah, like Trias and this are a flying squirrel, which means it cannot sustain that. Like, it literally is not possible. So every time it hits this trend line, you're going to want to take profits. Like, literally every time. Like 50 bag or something, because it ain't going to go higher than it. It's just not going to happen. Because this trend, if it continued to the rest of the year, it would be like as valuable as Bitcoin, right? So this is impossible to sustain it. So therefore, if it ever hits it again, taking profits is a huge winning strategy because you will be able to buy it lower. Mathematically, like 99% chance. Is it possible that's not the perfect buy and it goes like up here crazy? Yeah, but it's just going to go lower, faster. Yeah, so that would be, you know, will it hit that on the nose? You know, at this time, no. Well, if it hits it down here, then it'll be 24 cents. If it hits it in June, it'll be 26 cents. But yeah, this line is simply not sustainable to the end of the year. It's too aggressive. But it looks like it will hit it one more time. So yeah, it looks a lot like Trias, actually. Oh, weekly, guys, you need to watch my chart video. Or do, if Cryptillions don't have access, no, Cryptillions should be on this call. Yeah, it's in the dang charting. Guys, if you haven't watched my how to set up your chart video, how to set your trading view chart. Crackhead's tutorials, how to set your trading view chart. It's been there for a while. Yeah, use the tutorials, folks. You got the things in the tutorials. You might want to look at all of them if you're going to be playing with crypto. These aren't like daily videos. These are like your base of knowledge stuff. And I'm going to be adding to it significantly. You need to consume all this information in the tutorials, folks. Like, honestly, you will not, if you're paying 40 bucks a month or VA by 100 bucks a month, you cannot get the value out of that if you're asking them, what is the weekly 10 EMA? I'm serious. Now, I'm not saying that in a bad way. Like, thank you for being a patron. I do appreciate it. At the same rate, just, I'm here to protect you. Like, perhaps protect you from the money you're paying me, right? So if you don't have that base knowledge, you're simply not going to get the value out of what you're paying. I'm telling you. So if that means going to Cryptillion for a month while you download like the Matrix into your brain, all that information, then so be it. And then come back, at a different tier once your base of knowledge is a little higher. So I love this song so much. I think this was off of 𝘾𝐤𝙧 album, I think, or what was the album? Or no, oh gosh, what was the this was like the one after OK Computer. All right. Anyway, so yeah. So back to Crackhead chat. Or no, Cryptillion. Is it Cryptillion chat? Pulse. Came down to this candle body, candle wick. Performance support. It's getting rejected from its 2-hour 10 EMA. So I would not assume that this is going to get confident until it breaks its 2-hour 10 EMA. So I would get to the two, since it's a younger asset, you have to use the 2-hour. So there's no confidence until it stays above that red line, period. That's the only analysis you need to have. It will not do anything special until, so see how right when it broke it, it charged up? Don't expect something like this to happen. It's not just going to hover in and go bam, because if that happens, it's just going to fall right back down. You need like some closes first and then charge up. Why does TradingView have such a huge run, but this is only showing like a oh, that was an ADX. Huh. Interesting. So they had a fair ICO. I can't believe it had a fair, it didn't come in overvalued. Good for them. What is this company? Is this the KuCoin stuff? Like the how they make the huh. So I guess I kind of need to ignore this. That just means I think they just had a fair ICO and they didn't enrich themselves. That's kind of cool. I like that. So this is the exact opposite of what Omi did. Omi started way overvalued, as I warned everybody. YouTubers talked about it, and then it's like its graph is like inverse this, right? Essentially. Even though Omi still is above its overvalued price, but it started off too high. I actually kind of like this. I think you should ignore. I think I should be ignoring that. That just means it's one of the few projects that had a fair start and didn't enrich themselves, because it seems like they probably have a product and they're getting paid money for it, because you wouldn't see this if they were trying to, you know, keep the lights on with investor money. That means investors are getting a lot of the pie. So honestly, I kind of like what I see here. This might be a pretty good project to be into, honestly, if I'm understanding this correctly. I could be misunderstanding it, but I think that's what this means. May 10th. Yeah, so I like what I'm seeing here. It's gone sideways for quite a while too. Oh, only relatively 8 days. I don't know. I might pick up some of this. I kind of like I like the idea of that. There aren't many fair starts like that. That's pretty cool. All right, let me look at YouTube comments for a second. Okay. Gonna lose all your money. Told you guys. All you guys who sold stuff for futures, didn't put stops, you're out of money now. And I'm sorry that happened to you, but I definitely warned everybody. B-Pro? Deploying some tether now is probably not a horrible idea. And then deploying the rest of it at a higher low. And then taking profits when Bitcoin hits its or gets just above its weekly 10 or hits at it. That would be a pretty good play. Oh, this is public? Oh, sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I forgot to change the setting. Okay, well, sorry. I didn't realize I was doing that. Sorry. I didn't know I was doing that. Yeah, I know, but it's about over anyway, so. My ribbons. Available to crackheads and above. It's posted in the crackhead tutorial. But we're not giving any secrets away here, so it's okay, guys. And I think I'm getting through all your questions pretty good. Or no. It held strong. Looks okay. Yeah, it'll probably hold this line. If it doesn't, it'll probably come to the bottom of those candles, top of that candle, top of that. Yeah, probably, if it breaks it, it'll go to there. Yeah, if it can't hold that, it'll come down here and try again. Most likely. Yeah, AXPR is looking sexy. I don't know what's happening with AXPR, but it's trying to break out, which is crazy. I don't know. I don't know what the hell's happening with this. There must be something going on with its project because it's got a lot of buyers stepping in. Yeah, I don't know. That's just nothing but good. That's the only green thing on my chart, and I have a lot of coins on here, so whatever's going on is good. Well, then, if you have it, then maybe take profits. Who knows? So good question. Mushroom, go back in time and don't do that again. Yeah, you have to set stops. I literally posted that video for a reason, saying set your stops, like with rules, like listed out. You know, I mean, you're gonna lose all your money if you're not setting stops. You just will. You might not on your first try, but you will. You will lose all your money. I'm telling you. But 230. So whatever you're going to do on Dash, it depends on, you know, Ethereum and Bitcoin. So let me go to another Bitcoin chart here that's cleaner. Let's do wait, where'd it go? Oh, I wasn't supposed to click that. All right. Okay. What you do to get out of a situation you should have never put yourself in is going to depend on Bitcoin. So you have a few options. You can take your losses now, long a lower low, and as it comes back up, you get all your money back that you lost from 230 down to there. because the Dash chart looks very similar to Bitcoin, right? So, but it's going to depend on what Bitcoin does. So Dash won't do that unless Bitcoin does it. That might be what you do, or you can split your bets in half to get half out of your trade, take losses on half of it, so that if you do get liquidated, you don't lose all your money. But when it does go down lower, you long that higher low with half of that, and then you get that money back that you took losses on when it comes back up, something like that. But the worst case is just to say, my liquidation's down here. I would not say that. I don't think that would be a wise option. I think any good option would involve some taking losses now, perhaps not all, and planning on longing a lower low to try to make your money back. But with stops, always but stops. Guys, you should never look at your liquidation prices. Like, literally, don't even look at them for real. You should have stops, and you're out way before liquidation price is even a thing. Don't look at liquidation prices. It's there to fool you. It's there to make you, like, to give you security. Like, oh, that's not going to happen. No, that's the exchanges tricking you. They know it over time. It's going to happen, and you're going to lose all. They're going to take all your money, and you are willingly giving it to them because you're looking at your liquidation price. So think of liquidation price as this: exchanges take all your money. So if you could switch it to those words, do you think you're gonna flirt with the line of exchanges take all your money? No, you're not. Just because it's called liquidation, it's not scary. Yes, it's scary. Don't even think about that line. Make it impossible to ever happen with stops. It's the exchanges take all your money line. It's not a liquidation line. It's your money's freaking gone line. So never allow your, so why would you, it's like eyeballing all my money's gone line when at the cost of at the thing of saying ooh, I don't want to take these losses. It'll go back up. Yes, no, you take your losses. But that's why he said stop. So you take minimal losses. You have to manage your losses. You could be a horrible trader, horrible TA. But if you manage your losses well and milk your gains, let your gains ride, you're going to be a great trader. Even though your TA sucks. You can literally guess wrong 10 out of 10 times. You can literally guess wrong 10 out of 10 times. And if you manage your losses well, you can still make a lot of money. By getting stopped out in profit, essentially, over and over and over, if all your guesses are wrong. You have to manage. If you're going to flirt with, guys, that's why I keep saying, stop using leverage. Seriously. I don't, it's... I've been telling you guys, and I've heard other traders mock me like, I'm not your dad. I'm not going to tell you not to use it. Yes, I would strongly suggest not using it. If my channel is geared toward retail investors, you're new to this. New to this means don't use leverage. If you want to practice with 1% or less of your portfolio on 2 to 3x leverage, with the idea that I am willing to lose all this, and I probably will. Okay, then try it. Get used to it. That's good practice. But as a new investor, you should not be planning on making good gains sustainably off of leverage. You won't do it. You simply won't do it. I'm telling you, you're up against people's extremely expensive software, a lot of bright minds all together moving large amounts of money. You're trying to compete against that. It's so hard to make money on leverage, folks. So I keep saying it's such a no-brainer during a bull market to make your money on small alts because the gains are way better anyway. But you got attracted to leverage because you got sick of the boringness of alts not moving. I get it. Now see, this is what happens. And I also mentally prepared y'all for, get used to the boring, hit singles, this and that, that's a mentality you have to have. You have to accept boringness. You have to, or else you're going to get lured into this crap. So you don't have many options that are winning. Your only option that's winning is you get lucky, but that's not a plan. You can't, that's not an option. That's not an option that you can actually select. Is it an event that can play out? Yes. And if you get back to break even, you might want to cash out. Or if you break in a tiny bit of profit, I would get out. That's what I would do, and then re-enter at a higher low when Bitcoin makes a higher low. That's what I would do. Don't do that again, please. Like, seriously. You know how stressful that is? I bet you're stressed out. I'm going to lose my money. Yeah, exactly. It's stressful. Impressive. Yep, this is the second coin that said, what flash crash? What flash crash? Yeah, it clearly didn't pay attention to the flash crash. Hydra was holding tether. Hasn't gotten too exceptionally hot. So BPRO did like 2.5 times this in increase. So this stair stepping is pretty aggressive, but it's a healthy aggressive. This is a mixture of healthy and aggressive, actually. And it's kind of like what VeChain's been doing, like a healthy, aggressive stair steppy. So these charts are very similar up until that point. Whoa. Whoa. In a day, 70%. That's why I advise against YouTube coins, folks. YouTube coins, if you follow YouTube hype coins, and VeChain is like the favorite child, or third or second favorite child of YouTube, you're gonna get bitten. You know, it was Omi. What happened to everybody? You got bitten. What happened to, let's see what Harmony One did. Got bit. All the YouTubers talking about it up here. Got your ass bit. Theta. Even though Theta's a great project, and I bet Harmony is too, got your ass bit. Because when did YouTubers talk about it? Here and here and here. When were most people buying? Are in around here. Because it takes more money to move it that much higher. There's a consequence for buying what YouTubers talk about. Like that's rough. But everything's kind of rough right now, actually. But I mean, not 70% rough. Wow. Yeah, most of the coins we follow, you know, like credits, did it go 60 or 70% down? No. Because we weren't buying tops. We were buying consolidation zones. You know? Idea 60%. No, Idea didn't go down that far. But the vast majority of what we're following did not have these severe of corrections. See what Via did. Via looks like it had a 50%er. Nope, not quite as bad. So yeah, YouTube coins get bit a lot harder. I can't remember what chart I was on, but Hydra, yeah. So yeah, so that's the difference between Hydra and VeChain. VeChain had a lot of, you know, newer investors with weaker hands in it because it's YouTubers talk about it. Hydra, I guess, didn't. The hands that hold this, it's not hype. But this is a very healthy, aggressive chart. It's kind of impressive, actually. It might be mostly attributed to the staking, and everybody's just compounding their staking. So when this pops, it'll pop pretty hard. But as of now, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. I'm actually really surprised that it hasn't happened. Because I know they have the soft, flexible staking where you can pull out right immediately. And I'm actually kind of surprised this didn't pop harder. So this is actually really impressive for like multiple reasons. Not just the chart, but the fact that it has that ridiculous staking. And you can pull it out immediately. Yeah, I don't know. What is this? This is really impressive. Yeah, whatever this is doing, it's doing something right. So Well, I applaud Hydra. That looks like a fantastic project just in the charts, even though I don't know a damn thing about it. Yeah, guys, there's... Ooh. When you buy new coins with no price history, you're gambling. This is what I keep talking about, folks. It has nothing to support it. So the one gamble I freaking made on idea, same crap. Right? I only made one gamble on a newer coin without price history. And is it working out well for me? No, it's not. Are my other coins that have more price history working out a lot better than this? Yes. Yeah, you're taking a huge risk buying coins with no price history. And that's what happens. That's why I keep saying this is gambling, this is gambling, this is gambling. And even when I let people know that I hold a lot of idea, I like the project, I specifically said on multiple videos, this is technically gambling, does not have price history, but the reason why I'm personally taking the gamble is because of its staking, it's a very low cap, the risk to reward seems to balance out. Right now, the risk is winning, but in the end, the reward might come through. Who knows? But I took that gamble, right? Yeah, this is gambling. That's all it is. So it sucks. Or is this man? Or Mana? Wait, I thought man had more price history than that. That can't be right. I thought man looked good. That can't be right. This can't be right. I thought that can't be right. I thought man was the coin that had more price history and it was sticking its landing and it had a very aggressive looking move. I thought man was one of the best looking structures. Hold on. Am I getting confused right now? Oh, that's what okay, thank you. Yeah, there you go. Okay, I knew it's okay, yeah, so this had a really lovely structure. Broke through it though. Yeah, so versus Bitcoin, it's not too bad off. Okay, so it's not gambling. Okay, so there you go. This wasn't gambling. Yeah, I was gonna say I thought man had an awesome structure. So the reason I thought man had such a great structure is because I really liked how many times it closed and proved support of its weekly 10. Had the flash crash not happened, I mean, this would have been in a great position. And honestly, I would assume it bounces right back up and comes to doing what it was doing. But yeah, this shape typically in a bull market is really good because it's getting compressed and it's closing time after time after time on its weekly 10. It's simply got affected by what's happening here. But versus Bitcoin doesn't look that bad. Yeah, I just came back down to this, actually, like, technically to the bottom of the range. Yeah. Not too bad. All right. Aria, can I see my phone real fast? I don't know. I've been through this all before, guys. Here, phone, please. Let me make sure. Oh shit, it's 3 crap. I gotta go. I got a call I gotta make. So I'm actually pretty late on an honorary house member. So I have a Cryptillion, I believe, who's an honorary house member, who I just blew like 13 minutes past our appointment. So for people who aren't part of the Patreon community, even Cryptillions, I pick 3 Cryptillions a month to, for no extra cost, get a piece of that $2,000 a month package. So just a heads up, like there's pretty big value in the even the lower tiers for that kind of stuff. But anyway, I gotta go, guys. So yeah, everything's gonna be fine, most likely. And if it's not, things will go up first before you can reassess and you can get back to being in profits, assuming you weren't playing with leverage. So everything's going to be fine. It will rebound up. Will it continue to charge up from there afterward? Who knows? But you'll get either back into profit or very close to, break even. So you're going to be fine. Okay. Just depending on how far in you entered. So just have faith that Bitcoin price will go back up to the weekly 10 because it will. Just depends on how many weeks it does that. Okay. All right. We'll see you later.